Jai Maharaj, Hare Krishna. Obeisances to you. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Vaishnavad Panamhansaparikajacharya Ashto Saraswati Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Jayādvaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Radha Kunikiti Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Gangamai Ki Jai Jamunamai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Welcome to all. Thank you to Kendra Prabhu. We're on September 29th, 2022 in the Western Hemisphere. And we're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, Chapter 4, Text 4. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mula Shloker Artha Korite Prakash Artha Lagaite Age Kohiye Abhash. Just to explain the original verse, I shall first suggest its meaning. Om Gyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Bhupakada Mahyam Tathati Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Savidam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Supe Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Vansha Kolpatarubhyascha Krupasindho Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is continuing to explain his introductory verses to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's explained the fourth verse concerning the outward reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance in this world. And now he's going to explain the fifth verse concerning the internal reasons for the Lord's appearance. Chaturta Shloker Arta Koilo Shar Premanam Pracharite Avatar. I have given the essential meaning of the fourth verse. This incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Satyaye hetu kintu eho bahiranga hare hetu shuno ache antaranga. Although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. Please hear one other reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. Purport. In the 3rd chapter, 4th verse, it has been clearly said that Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to distribute the love of Krishna and the chanting of his transcendental holy name, Hare Krishna. That was the secondary purpose of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. The real reason is different, as we shall see in this chapter. Urvayena Pritivir Har Haripade Krishna Avatirna Hoila Shastrete Prochare. The scriptures proclaim that Lord Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth. Swayam Bhagavanir Karma Nahi Bhara Haran Stiti Karta Vishnu Koding Jagat Balon. To take away this burden, however, is not the work of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The maintainer, Lord Vishnu, is the one who protects the universe. Into Krishna Jai Hoy Avatar Kal Para Honan Kal Tate Vaila Mishal. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time for Lord Krishna's incarnation. Purport. We have information from the Bhagavad Gita that the Lord appears at particular intervals to adjust a time-worn spiritual culture. Lord Sri Krishna appeared at the end of the Dwapara Yuga to regenerate the spiritual culture of human society and also to manifest his transcendental pastimes. I have to stop there and note that the clarity of this expression. He appears at particular intervals to adjust the time-worn spiritual culture. And this is yada yada hi dharmasya, dharma samstapanartaya, the Sambhavan Yuge Yuge. Srila Prabhupada translates it in different ways, but here Krishna comes to adjust a time-worn spiritual culture and regenerate the spiritual culture of human society and to manifest his pastimes. Vishnu is the authorized Lord who maintains the created cosmos, and he is also the principal deity who makes adjustments when there's improper administration in the cosmic creation. But Sri Krishna, being the primeval Lord, appears not in order to make such administrative adjustments, but only to exhibit his transcendental pastimes, and thus attract the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. However, the time for administrative rectification and the time for Lord Sri Krishna's appearance coincided at the end of the last Dwapara Yuga. Therefore, when Sri Krishna appeared, Vishnu, the Lord of maintenance, merged with him, because all the plenary portions and parts of the absolute personality of Godhead merged with him during his appearance. Purna Bhagavan Avatare Ye Kale Arshab Avatar Tangte Asimile. When the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of the Lord meet together within him. Narayana Chaturbhyuha Matsyadhyavatar Yuga Manvantara Vatar Yata Chayar Shabeyashi Krishna Ange Hoy Avatirna Oiche Avatare Krishna Bhagavan Purna. Lord Narayan, the four primary expansions, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, Matsya, and the other Lila incarnations, the Yuga avatars, the Manvantara incarnations, and as many other incarnations as there are, all descend in the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna himself, appears. Ateva Vishnu Takon Krishner Sharire Vishnu Dware Kore Krishna Ashura Shankare. At that time, therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna kills the demons through him. Anushanga karma ashura maron je lagi avatar kahishe mula kavan. Thus, the killing of the demons is but secondary work. I shall now speak of the main reason for the Lord's incarnation. So, two reasons have been given for the Lord's descent. The business of killing the demons and rectifying the reestablishing dharma, and the business of demonstrating his transcendental pastimes. So when Krishna appears, he's Purna Bhagavan, he's complete personality of Godhead. All the other incarnations are included within him. And the business of straightening out universal affairs is done by Krishna's portion as Vishnu. Krishna appears, and within Krishna, the Vishnu portion takes care of those functions. Any questions or comments about this so far?
Yes, Maharaj.
Hmm.
Krishna. Isn't the Vishnu portion sort of within Krishna all the time anyways?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not like, is there something happening, or is it just that I'm not quite getting it, I guess.
It's not that Krishna had to make a special arrangement for Vishnu to appear also. When Krishna appears, everyone's within him. All the avatars, the Manvantaras, the Lila avatars, the Yuga avatars, Narayan, the Chaturbhyuha, everybody's there within Vishnu. And just as Prabhupada gave the example, you have $100 note, so your $20, your $50, they're all included. If you invite the king, then his secretaries, everything whatever's included within king is present. So when Krishna descends, all the avatars are included within himself.
Okay, it's just that in text 13, it seems to make a specific point of saying at that time, therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Lord Krishna. So it makes it seem like something extraneous or separate or different.
Something extraordinary.
Yeah.
It's this is his way of appearing. When Krishna appeared, there was a congruence of these two things. It was time for an avatar to appear anyway, to set things straight in the universe, but it was also time for Krishna's appearance. We hear that there's a black avatar at the end of every Dwapara Yuga, but it's only in this particular Dwapara Yuga just passed that Krishna himself appears. Just as we hear that there's a golden incarnation in every Kali Yuga, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears only once in a day of Brahma.
Okay, thank you.
So, yes. Saraswati says, I would have thought the Vishnu portions would have merged in Balaram. They're included in Balaram. Balaram's included in Krishna. Yes. Yeah, I don't think I need to say more than that. Prema Rasha Niryasha Korite Ashwadan Ragamarga Bhakti Loke Korite Pracharam Rashika Shekhar Krishna Parama Karuna He Dvi Hetu Haite Ichchar Udgama. The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus, he is known as supremely jubilant and as the most merciful of all. We can note the two names, or the two terms given for Krishna, Rashika Shekhar and Paramakaruna. So as Rashika Shekhar, he wants to taste the mellows of devotional service. And as Paramakaruna, he wants to distribute spontaneous love for himself. Prema Rasa Niryas Korite Ashwadam, he wants to taste it, and Rag Marg Bhakti Loke Korite Prachana, and he wants to preach it. Purport. During the period of Lord Krishna's appearance, the killing of asuras, or non-believers, such as Kamsa and Jarasandha, was done by Vishnu, who was within the person of Sri Krishna. Such apparent killing by Lord Sri Krishna took place as a matter of course and was an incidental activity for him. But the real purpose of Lord Krishna's appearance was to stage a dramatic performance of his transcendental pastimes at Brajabhumi, thus exhibiting the highest limit of transcendental mellow in the exchanges of reciprocal love between the living entity and the Supreme Lord. These reciprocal exchanges of mellows are called Rag Bhakti, or devotional service to the Lord in transcendental rapture. Lord Sri Krishna wants to make known to all the conditioned souls that he's more attracted by Raga Bhakti than Vidhi Bhakti, or devotional service under scheduled regulations. It is said in the Vedas, Raso Vai Saha. The absolute truth is the reservoir for all kinds of reciprocal exchanges of loving sentiments. He is also causelessly merciful, and he wants to bestow upon us this privilege of Rag Bhakti. Thus, he appeared by his own internal energy. He was not forced to appear by any extraneous force. So this Rag Bhakti involves spontaneous attraction to Krishna, and it's different from the ordinary devotional service performed as a matter of duty under rules and regulations. Tulsi Priya.
Maharaj, would it be correct to say that one becomes qualified or prepared to do Rag Bhakti by the process of Vidhi Bhakti?
Yes, one advances toward Rag Bhakti, and this will explain this in coming purports. By following the rules and regulations, one advances toward this qualification. But qualification for spontaneous attraction is not just a matter of following the regulative principles. It requires the mercy of the spiritual master in Krishna. I hope that's all right.
Mhm.
Rabin says, I think that since Krishna does not do the killing work which Vishnu does, Vishnu merged into Krishna to perform the killing work. Although in a sense, Vishnu is always in Krishna, but to highlight that Krishna does not involve in the killing activity himself, Vishnu merged into him. Yeah, essentially Kaviraj Goswami is separating out Krishna's activities. Krishna is one integrated person. He's not two. Eka Brahma Dutiya Nasti. Advaita, he's one person. But he appears in different forms to carry out different functions. He appears in one feature in Vrindavan, dancing with the gopis and playing with Nanda, Yashoda, and the cowherd boys. And then in Dwarka, he appears in a different feature, not as a cowherd boy, but as a royal prince. Then in Vaikuntha, he appears in a majestic feature, and he appears as a fish, he appears as a tortoise, he appears as the Purusha avatars before that. So this is all the same Krishna, but he's appearing in different ways. He's appearing in different ways. When I joined the temple, I had a ring with an Alexandrite stone. Anyway, with an Alexandrite stone. And the quality of that stone is that in some light it appears yellowish, and in some light it appears bluish. But it's not that there are two stones or that there's some sort of mechanical switcheroo that goes on. It's one stone, but in different circumstances, we see different features of the stone. We see the blue feature, we see the yellow feature. So Krishna is one person, but he appears in different features according to his desire, or according to the desire of his devotees, or according to the need of the world. Yes, Tulsi Priya.
Maharaj, I think I can understand Vishnu. It's Vishnu's business to kill, but when we consider Krishna's pastimes, these are the killing of the demons appear within the context of these relishable pastimes, and the killing itself appears to be something like play, like particularly when he doesn't kill Kalia, he just dances on him. But it all seems part of the fun of playing with the cowherd boys, or baby Krishna acting as a baby, sucking the life out of Putana. So I'm not getting how it's Vishnu's business to kill when it seems that the killing of the demons is part of Lila. It's fun, it's relishable, it's enjoyable. It's not like this awe and reverence kind of thing. I mean, when you read them, it's not like if you grew up with Western culture, there's usually a lot of tension and suspense when the hero has to kill somebody. But with Krishna, it's just basically it's over within 10 seconds, or less. And it's not, I don't want to say it's anticlimactic. Well, there is no climax. He just kills them and it's over with. So I guess I'm just trying to understand how it's a Vishnu feature when it's part of Krishna's Lila of having fun and playing with his friends.
According to Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, everything Krishna does is an expansion of his blissful nature. He's the supreme enjoyer. So he enjoys appearing as the Purusha avatars. He enjoys appearing as Matsya avatar. He enjoys everything as an expression of his blissful nature. Krishna is eternal, Krishna is full of knowledge, and Krishna is blissful. So he expresses that blissful nature in different ways and different features. So yes, it's Krishna doing everything, particularly in Vrindavan. But we hear from the acharyas that the killing is done specifically by the Vishnu portion of the Lord. So we accept that. Trying to think if there's anything else to say about it. Anyone else want to chime in?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. I was just thinking how in Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna is there and enacting his pastimes, but he doesn't kill demons in Goloka Vrindavan. Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, that's not something that he does. So it's part of his Lila in the material world. Is that all right?
That's true, yes. That's true. In the
That's
spiritual
helpful.
world.
Thank you.
Good. It's okay, that helps. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on. Aishwarya Gyanete Shav Jagat Mishrito Aishwarya Shitala Preme Nahi Mor Prito. Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. This is the general situation of the religions of the world. They appreciate and glorify the Supreme Lord as the King of Kings, as the Supreme Controller, as the Alpha and Omega, as the greatest of the great, and so on. And in the Vedic literature also, the personality of Godhead is glorified in these ways, in terms of his Aishwarya, his grandeur. But Krishna says, I'm not satisfied by that kind of love, weakened by the sense of majesty. Amare Ishar Mane Apone Apanake Hin Tar Preme Bosh Ami Na Hai Atim. If one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. Amaketa ye je, bhakta bhaje je bhave, tare she bhave, bhaji e mor shabhave. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my transcendental nature. My transcendental, that is my natural behavior. Purport. The Lord, by his inherent nature, reveals himself before his devotees according to their inherent devotional service. The Vrindavan pastimes demonstrated that although generally people worship God with reverence, the Lord is more pleased when a devotee thinks of him as his pet son, personal friend, or most dear fiancé, and renders service unto him with such natural affection. The Lord becomes a subordinate object of love in such transcendental relationships. Such pure love of Godhead is unadulterated by any tinge of superfluous non-devotional desires, and is not mixed with any sort of fruitive action or empiric philosophical speculation. It is pure and natural love of Godhead, spontaneously aroused in the absolute stage. This devotional service is executed in a favorable atmosphere, freed from material affection. The Lord, when approached by the devotee with awe and reverence, reciprocates. Yes, I'm the supreme great, the supreme Lord of all. But when he's approached with spontaneous feelings of friendship, of parental love, conjugal love, and he assumes a subordinate position, he reciprocates differently. Ye yatamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manusya partha sarvashaha. In whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O Sangha. Purport. In the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna affirms that formerly, some 120 million years before the Battle of Kurukshetra, he explained the mystic philosophy of the Gita to the sun god. The message was received through the chain of disciplic succession. But in course of time, the chain being broken somehow or other, Lord Sri Krishna appeared again and taught Arjuna the truths of the Bhagavad Gita. At that time, the Lord spoke this verse to his friend Arjuna. More putra, more shaka, more pranapati, e bhave je more kore shuddha bhakti. Apanake paramane amare shamhin. She bhave hayami tahar atim. If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great, and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. Purport. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, 3 kinds of devotional service are described, namely bhakti, ordinary devotional service, shuddha bhakti, pure devotional service, and vidya bhakti, mixed devotional service. When devotional service is executed with some material purpose, involving fruitive activities, mental speculations, or mystic yoga, it is called mixed or adulterated devotional service. Besides bhakti yoga, the Bhagavad Gita also describes karma yoga, jnana yoga, and dhyana yoga. Jnana yoga and dhyana yoga, yes. Yoga means linking with the Supreme Lord, which is possible only through devotion. Fruitive activities ending in devotional service, philosophical speculation ending in devotional service, and the practice of mysticism ending in devotional service are known respectively as karma yoga, jnana yoga, and dhyana yoga. But such devotional service is adulterated by the 3 kinds of material activities. For those grossly engaged in identifying the body as the self, pious activity or karma yoga is recommended. For those who identify the mind with the self, philosophical speculation or jnana yoga is recommended. But devotees standing on the spiritual platform have no need of such material conceptions of adulterated devotion. Adulterated devotional service does not directly aim for love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, service performed strictly in conformity with the revealed scriptures is better than such vidya bhakti, because it is free from all kinds of material contamination. It is executed in Krishna consciousness solely to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we've had an explanation of various kinds of mixed devotional service. Jnana, Mishra Bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti, for those on the bodily platform, more concerned with the bodily platform, but inclined toward devotional service. We have Jnana Mishra Bhakti. For those who are inclined toward devotional service, but are preoccupied with mental and intellectual affairs, we have the Jnana Yoga. But for those who are purely interested in serving the Lord with love, we have Bhakti Yoga, a pure, unadulterated devotional service. Those who are spontaneously devoted to the Lord and have no aims for material gain are called attracted devotees. They are spontaneously attracted to the service of the Lord, and they follow in the footsteps of self-realized souls. Their pure devotion, shuddha bhakti, manifested from pure love of Godhead, surpasses the regulative principles of the authoritative scriptures. Sometimes loving ecstasy transcends regulative principles. Such ecstasy, however, is completely on the spiritual platform and cannot be imitated. The regulative principles help ordinary devotees rise to the stage of perfect love of Godhead. Tulsi Priya's question answered. Pure love for Krishna is the perfection of pure devotion. And pure devotional service is identical with spontaneous devotional service. Flawless execution of regulative principles is exhibited in the Vaikuntha planets. By strictly executing these principles, one can be elevated to the Vaikuntha lokas, Vaikuntha planets. But spontaneous, pure, loving service is found in Krishna Loka alone. So we're being introduced to a higher level of devotional service. The pious people of the world may be inclined toward serving the Lord with obedience, with reverence. But there's a higher level of devotional service found in Krishna Loka, where Krishna reciprocates with devotees spontaneously attracted to him in loving relationships. Yes, Tulsi Priya.
Hare Krishna. In the purport of the previous verse, text 21-22, it says, maybe it's still the same purport. I'm scrolling through the chat here, trying to find it again. Okay, where it says adulterated devotional service does not directly aim for love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, service performed strictly in conformity with the revealed scriptures is better than such vidha bhakti because it is free from all kinds of material contamination. So my Sanskrit is not anywhere near expert, but I was assuming that vidha bhakti is another way of saying vaidhi bhakti, and I assumed, or is it something different?
No. Vidha is different. The Vidha Bhakti described here is mixed devotional service.
Okay, thank you.
There's Vaidhi Bhakti, which is under Vidhis, under rules and regulations. But the Vidha Bhakti mentioned here
Thank you.
is mixed. Murari Gupta Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I was wondering, as the years go on, is there room for this spontaneous Rag Bhakti within ISKCON, or will we always be limited to the rules and regulations?
In ISKCON, are we going to find spontaneous devotional service, or will it always be limited to the rules and regulations? We find spontaneous devotional service in ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, was on the platform of spontaneous devotional service. But outwardly, he followed the rules and regulations. That's what the Acharyas do, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, followed the regulative principles. It's not that when you're on the spontaneous platform, you just ditch the regulative principles while serving in this world. While in this world, we follow the regulative principles. Even the spontaneous devotees follow the regulative principles, but inwardly something else is going on. outwardly, they're appearing like sadhakas to set the example for everyone else. But inwardly, they're relishing spontaneous love for Krishna. That's the situation. And sometimes, if their spontaneous love may be manifested, may become visible to some extent. But generally, the advanced devotees hide these things. The sahajas want to make a show of these things. They'll dress up as gopis to advertise their amorous, loving relationship with Krishna. They'll do so many things to let everyone know of their spontaneous ecstasy. But that's condemned as cheap, as imitative, as unacceptable. The path, on the path of Srila Rupa Goswami, even the spontaneous devotees scrupulously follow the regulative principles. So we're not going to see, I hope, an ISKCON in which everybody's just doing everything by spontaneous inspiration. Then you get a mess. Everybody's spontaneously doing everything in their own inspired way. No, we're meant to follow the rules and regulations. We're meant to follow the path of the acharyas in regulative service. But inwardly, we're not meant to stay on that platform. There's a higher cultivation that we're encouraged to aspire for. And that's the spontaneous loving relationship with Krishna. But that's cultivated inwardly and not seen very easily. Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj.
And thank you, Murari. Saraswati says, we see that there are devotees that are not at Shuddha Bhakti level, but they're still naturally attracted to Krishna alone, not other forms. Yes, that means already advanced. They're not, they're attracted to Krishna. But still, their attraction is on the neophyte platform. They're attracted to Krishna, but they're attracted to mental speculation. They're attracted to Krishna, but they're attracted to sense gratification. That's Vidya Bhakti, mixed devotional service. It's not Anya Vilasha Dushunga. There's still some carryover of material tendencies, but there's also some attraction for Krishna. It's not just an on-off switch. Either you're attracted to Krishna or you're not attracted to Krishna. There's some attraction, but still the devotee is not yet free from the covering of material attraction. And again, that's the sadhus. They want to jump to the platform of spontaneous attraction without doing the work of getting free from material attraction. So then you get a mixture. They're rolling on the ground, they're crying in ecstasy, and they've got a woman on the side with whom they mix for sense enjoyment. And so many other examples can be there. How they're spontaneously attracted to Krishna, and yet spontaneously attracted to Maya. So that's not Shuddha Bhakti by any means. That's not Shuddha Bhakti by any means. So the Sahajas are rejected by Srila Rupa Goswami. One has to take to the path of following the regulative principles, of purifying the heart, of getting freed from anarthas, anartha nivrittis. Then gradually one comes to the genuine stage of spontaneous love without any other attraction. He's not attracted to material enjoyment. He's not attracted to speculative excursions. He's just purely absorbed in spontaneous love for Krishna. That's what Krishna is looking for. That's the natural platform of love. But it's not such a cheap thing that one can just put it on display and jumping over the other stages. Ado Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya, then Anartha Nivritti, then we come to Nishta, Ruchi, and so on. Srila B.R. Sridhar Maharaj remarked that if we skip over any of those stages, the portion skipped will remain hollow. You can picture some building constructed where they leave out essential structural elements. Such a building collapses. It may look good for some time, but later it falls. So one has to patiently follow the system of regulative devotional service. And one may aspire at the same time for these higher stages, but not pretend to have achieved what one is not actually reached. Kabir says, in ISKCON we chant Hare Krishna, which indicates Radha Krishna. So some say that this is a sign that we should be following the Madhurya Ras in the footsteps of Radharani. So no place of Vatsalya, Sakya, chanting Hare Krishna, no place of Vatsalya Shakya devotees chanting Hare Krishna, else how these rasas are chanting Radha. Well, these are all speculative propositions. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is chanting Hare Krishna, and he and his followers show fraternal love for Krishna. So these are all speculative propositions of inexperienced devotees. All right. Shall we have Kirtan again? Is someone rushing forward to lead?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Well, our kirtan has been frozen by the internet, it seems. Jai Om Vishnupad Panamansa Paribraj Acharya Ashto Tarasati Shri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Raj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Nam Acharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kuni Radha Kunigiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Maya Ki Jai Jamana Maya Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande. Thank you to all for taking part.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Jaya.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Jaya. Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveta Ki Jai.
His Holiness Jayādvaita. His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Haribo.
Hare.
Yeah.